What? Fuck. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another one of my videos. Y'all see the title. Is this what y'all been waiting for? Because I'm so excited about this video today because I'm gonna go ahead and let the girlies know what I be using for my wigs, for my installs, what to use for what when coloring. I'ma just drop it all out to y'all. So first, we're gonna start with the wig installs, okay? So for my wig installs, I use HD lace wig caps, okay? These are the wig caps that I use. Okay, so I use HD lace caps for all skin color, all the girlies. This is the caps that I use, and I'm gonna make sure I put the link in the description as well because I buy these bulk and I go through these like crazy. So I'm gonna drop the link on Amazon on where I get these from and where you can get them from so that you can make sure you're getting them installs melted. That's first. Second, I use Touch by Misty lace glue, and that is my favorite glue right now. At first I was using Erica J, and I love Erica J and I love her sports mug, but the Touch by Misty has been getting me where I need to be at with the installs, and I feel like they last way longer. And you gotta make sure that you order it online and you gotta order it ahead of time. Hers didn't take long at all. So yeah, I use Touch by Misty lace glue, and for my makeup I go to Walgreens and I get Fit Me by Maybelline. Let me check. I get this, and I make sure I got like 6 to 7 different colors because my clients, they could be Latina, they could be white, they could be red bone, they could be chocolate. You want to make sure you provide everything for your clients because it's just, they paying for the convenience. So go ahead and get that Fit Me Maybelline. It's liquid, but you got to make sure that you like spread it out and dab it. Don't just put a whole bunch, okay? Just dab it on the little thing. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do an unboxing. So for my installs, that's what I use: makeup, wig caps, glue. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the wigs and the coloring and whatnot. We're gonna talk about what products I use for the wigs and what specific looks and products that I use for each look because every wig is different. So first I'm gonna start off with the shampoo and conditioner. I use Tresemme. I use Tresemme shampoo and conditioner. Okay, it don't matter the flavor, it don't matter the kind. I use Tresemme. Okay, I'll also be using fabric softener. When I wash my wigs, I use shampoo to wash it, nothing else. And then I go in with my conditioner and I use like half a cup of this with the conditioner. Yeah, and I use that because it helps the wigs be smelling good, for one. That's one. And then for two, I use that also too because it helps with the frizziness of the hair as well. So that's why I use the fabric softener. Okay, and I always got me a 20 developer on hand because 20 low and slow is the way to go when you're coloring your wigs. You don't always want to be using a 40 or 30 on it. You're gonna burn out the hair. So let's not do that. Okay, so this brand, can y'all see that? Okay, this is High Color Highlights by L'Oreal, and they have red, burgundy, copper. They got a couple of colors, but I use this on black hair. Like when I want to get me a nice burgundy color, a nice copper color, but I still want it like toned, if that makes sense, like very fall neutral. This is what I use for that. With this color, it is a thicker consistency. I don't have to bleach my wigs or my bundles when I use this. I just put this right on there and it do what it needs to do. Okay, this is what I use for my burgundy and whatnot like that, if that makes sense. I usually get a minimum of 4 boxes and then I go up from there because 4 boxes, I'll use this for like a 22 inch or a 24 inch. I'll probably use 3 boxes for a 22 inch, 4 boxes for a 24, and then 26, 28, 30. That's when I'll use 5 to 6 boxes. because you want to make sure that it's saturated, and you want to always, like a 24 could probably take 3 boxes, but I might need this half, you know what I'm saying? So always buy more than what you need, because I would hate to have to drive back to the hair store in the middle of the night. So the high color, magenta, red, and copper for the fall, and the burgundies and the, you know, the subtle colors, that's what I use for that, okay? Now, okay, so this brand, Color Charm, these are the liquid bottles, right? So this is liquid, and they also sell this brand in a like paste form. So we got our liquids and we got our paste, okay? And when to use the liquid or when to use the paste, okay? When I use liquid is when I use liquid a lot. And what the fuck am I trying to say? Okay, so the liquid, I try to use the liquid if I'ma just like get the bowl, put some developer in there, and dip the wig in it, straight dipping it. Wig or bundles, just dipping it in there. If I'm a paint, I'll use this, but I'll also use the paste to thicken it up, because when you use the liquid, it be dripping everywhere. It be getting all on the wig, especially if you're gonna do a dark rooted wig. Like let's say you want to do a blonde wig with the dark root and the low lights. You gonna sit here and you gonna get you a liquid and a paste, mix them together, or you can do a paste with developer, but you're gonna put this together so that when you're doing them roots, you can get up on them roots and you don't have to worry about it seeping through and getting on the knots, because you don't want this dark ass color on the knots, because you don't know what type of skin tone girl you're gonna have come in. Like, okay, maybe the dark skin girlies, they can get away with it with a couple colored knots, but the light brights, the light girls, the red bones, the Latinas, the light skins, like, it's not gonna look right. You're gonna see them knots, and that's what you don't want. So I'll get a liquid and I'll get a paste, and I'll put it together with these so that it thicken it up, and I'll do it on the roots. And then if it's like a very particular color that I'm trying to do on a wig and I don't want the liquid just running everywhere, I'll mix it together with the paste as well, so that it's a little bit thicker and I got more control with it. Like, it's not dripping everywhere. But if I'm gonna dip this wig real quick in a little bowl or whatever, I'm gonna dip it in there with the liquid, so it's gonna get more saturated. So that's why I mix up these two different pastes, liquid and paste. So this is the brand, this is not the brand that I be using, but this is a good brand for the quick weave. Or I use Kiss. They have a good one. It dries faster than this one too. And I'll use a little bit of spritz on top for the quick weaves so that they don't get no glue in the hair. I'm not putting no glue around the border. So this is what I use for my quick weaves. I get a big bulk of these because I go through this fast. This is the brand that I use for my edge control. This is Edge Booster, okay? And this is the brand that I use for bleaching, okay? So, and the thing about bleaching is like, you really gotta take your time. Like, don't be trying to rush the process. Get you that 20 developer, go low and slow. And that's why I got a big gallon, because you don't want your bleach too thick when you're coloring them wigs, because it's gonna dry out and it's just not gonna get in the bundles and every single piece of hair when you're coloring it, okay? So I got me 2 of these. I make sure I got me a big thing of that. Then this is the brand that I use to tone, okay? And this is just basic toning. The Color Charms is what you're gonna use to get those different color highlights. Okay, so for my wig installs and for styling, you should be putting heat protectant on every client, and you should also be putting them on your wig. So this is good for the girlies who's aspiring to be, you know, the #1 hairstylist. If you're trying to be that #1 hairstylist, you gotta make sure you take care of your client's hair. If you're trying to be the #1 wig maker, you gotta make sure you're doing what you need to do. But I use this heat protectant. I use Chai, okay? Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap with your clients, and don't be cheap with your product, okay? Okay, don't be sitting here charging high prices and you're not giving them quality work, quality products. No, you need to drop your prices if you're gonna be doing cheap shit. If you're gonna be doing that bullshit cheap, you need to charge them cheap prices. Then yeah, okay? back to the program. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all. I used to use this and you can just kind of see the consistency, but now I use this. Like, this is super light, not heavy than this. Okay, I used to use this as like a silkening mist, and I would squirt it on my hands and work it through the wigs or the hair or whatever. I would use, but as y'all see, like, I haven't been using this in a while. I still got it, but like, nah, this is too thick. I don't like it. I use this instead. This is a little, you know, a little quick 1-2, 1-2. You can get this anywhere, honestly. You can get this at Ulta, Walgreens, at the hair store. But y'all see how it's like liquidy, and it's like, you don't need to put too many heavy products on your units because it's gonna get crunchy. And good quality hair really don't need too much. Okay, so that's what I use on my wigs, and I use them on my installs as well. And the spritz that I'm using, this is the brand of spritz that I use for the wigs as well. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all. So when I want to do a watercolor method, and I don't watercolor everything because everything do not need to be watercolored. You get a more vibrant color when you actually put the color on there and you paint it. So sometimes you gotta sit down and paint a wig for an hour or 2 hours to get a certain look. A watercolor is not gonna get you everywhere, boo. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, it's cute, it's easy, and sometimes too, like, you want to do something real cute and easy, cool, but sometimes you need to pull out that paintbrush and them gloves and get down with the get down. So this is Kiss. I use this, and I use Adore also too, and just depending on the type of look that I'm going for, I'll either watercolor or I'll paint. But sometimes I will lay that wig down and I will paint it because a watercolor can only do so much. Okay, and for the knots on a watercolor wig, conditioner is not gonna cut it. You need to get you some spritz spray and some got to be spray. You need to make sure you put enough layers on it and blow dry it before you dip it in, because you ain't got time to be, no, we're not doing it. Okay. A few small things. Make sure you got you some bobby pins, extra combs. I just restocked. Some rubber bands, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video wasn't too short, and hopefully y'all learned something. But those are the products that I use when coloring my wig, and the different types of styles and whatnot, because I don't use that high color for everything. That will not get used for everything. Okay, and I'll use the Adore, and I'll use the Kiss by Red for certain things as well. So y'all let me know down in the comments what other videos y'all want to see. Okay, and make sure y'all like and subscribe. How, what is you doing? If you didn't learn nothing, don't do it. But if you learned something, you got something valuable, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, boo. What you doing? Is you cool? Oh, is you hating? Oh, okay, hit the subscribe button. And I'm gonna keep dropping videos for y'all, okay? Dropping the tea. The next video, I'm gonna do a coloring tutorial. So y'all let me know what coloring tutorial y'all wanna see in the comments, and I'm gonna make sure I do that for you. Vina babes, that's so ugly. Like, no, we need something cool, calm, and collective. Like, what's up, girl? Maybe I might just call y'all girl. What's up, girl? How you doing, girl? What's up, my girlies? Until next time.